the island that taught him how to breathe again. There are moments when the body keeps moving, but the breath forgets how to arrive. Moments when life continues forward, yet something essential quietly tightens inside the chest. This story begins in one of those moments, because sometimes it takes leaving everything familiar behind to remember something as simple and vital as breathing. Dunya did not realize when it first happened, only that one day his breaths became shallow, not painful, just incomplete, as though his lungs were doing their job, but his spirit had stepped slightly out of rhythm. His life looked fine from the outside. Days filled with responsibility, evenings filled with routine conversations, polite and steady sleep arrived each night but never felt, restoring somewhere between waking and resting. Daniel felt suspended, not fully present, not fully at ease. It was during one such restless night that the image of the island appeared in his mind, not sharply, not urgently, just a quiet picture: blue water, open sky, a sense of space. He could not explain why, but the thought of the island loosened something inside him. Within weeks, he found himself traveling, leaving behind familiar streets and structured days. The journey itself felt unreal, as though he were moving through a dream rather than across distances. When he finally arrived, the island greeted him without ceremony. No noise, no rush, only wind, salt air, and the gentle rhythm of waves meeting shore. The air felt different here, thicker, richer, as though each breath carried something nourishing within it. Daniel stood still for a long moment, suitcase forgotten at his side, listening. The island breathed, and slowly so did he. The days unfolded without schedule. Morning light filtered softly through open windows. Birds called across the hills. The ocean shimmered endlessly, patient and vast. Daniel found himself walking often along narrow paths, lined with grasses that moved gently in the wind. With every step, his shoulders softened. With every breath, his chest expanded a little more. At first, the breaths felt unfamiliar, almost surprising, as though he had forgotten how deep breathing could go. The island asked nothing of him. It offered no answers, only space. One afternoon, Daniel climbed a small rise overlooking the sea. The wind wrapped around him, warm and steady. He closed his eyes. For the first time in a long while, he inhaled fully and felt it reach places that had been quiet for years. Memories surfaced gently, not as stories but as sensations. The feeling of lying on grass as a child watching clouds pass. The sound of laughter carried on summer air. The ease of breathing without effort or awareness. Tears came quietly, not from sadness but from release. Daniel understood then that he had not been broken, only holding his breath. Days passed, time softened. The island revealed itself slowly. Hidden coves where water lapped against stone, quiet evenings where stars filled the sky without competition, mornings where breath arrived naturally without thought. He spoke little, listened often. The island seemed alive, not watching, not judging, simply present. One evening, Daniel sat near the shoreline as dusk settled the horizon, blowing softly, waves rolling in their ancient rhythm. He matched his breathing to the ocean, in, out, and out. With each breath, a layer fell away. Expectations, old fears, the pressure to become something more. He realized that breathing was not something he needed to control, only something he needed to allow. Sleep came easily on the island, deep and dreamless, the kind that restores without effort. And when dreams did arrive, they were gentle, filled with light and movement, open spaces and calm water. Daniel woke each morning feeling lighter, more present, more himself. He began to notice how the island lived, plants growing without hurry, birds resting without guilt, the sea moving endlessly without exhaustion. Everything breathed, everything trusted the rhythm of its own existence. One afternoon, Daniel met an elderly fisherman mending nets by the shore. They spoke briefly, soft words carried by wind. Before parting, the fisherman said, "The island teaches what we forget when life becomes loud." Daniel smiled because he already knew what that was. As his stay neared its end, Daniel felt no urgency, no fear of returning. The island had given him something that could not be taken away. Breath, not just air but presence. On his final morning, Daniel stood once more at the water's edge, inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly. He thanked the island silently, not for healing him, but for reminding him. When Daniel returned home, the world had not changed. Streets were still busy, days still full, but he had breathed differently now, fully, gently, without resistance. When life tightened, he returned to his breath and through it to the island, because once you remember how to breathe, you never truly forget again. And now, as you rest here listening, perhaps you too can feel your breath softening, deepening, arriving. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to fix, just breathe in and out. Let the island meet you where you are. Let sleep come easily, naturally. You are safe and your breath remembers the way home.